Tonight, the Arizona Wildcats pull away with a 35-28 victory over the Nevada Wolfpack. They improved to 3-0 on their third straight season.
Welcome to Wildcast. I'm Toby Schmidt.
And I'm Chelsea Moe. Thanks for joining us tonight.
The University of Arizona is launching an online campus in response to high demand for online courses. UA Online will allow people who want to return to school but have other responsibilities during the day to enroll in fully online degree programs. The new classes will be taught by both faculty and graduate students, and starting rates are $490 per unit. The school says it hopes to recruit approximately 3,500 students in its first year, mostly undergrads. Faculty is hopeful that the new digital option will help adult learners achieve a degree, as well as help current students handle their hectic schedules.
Governor Doug Ducey recently passed a new round of budget cuts for the state of Arizona, and the three main public universities are set to lose about $99 million in state funding.
Education is under attack. What do we do? Stand up, fight back. Our education is under
The University of Arizona's budget will be cut by about $13 million. Several of the state's community colleges will lose all of their state support. This is expected to affect everything from the cost of attendance to funding for graduate programs. U of A students have seen continual tuition increases over the past years, and the state of Arizona has decreased spending on higher education by 48.3% since 2008, according to the Center of Budget Policies and Priorities. In the same time period, Arizona students have seen about an 80% tuition increase. University of Arizona President Ann Weaver Hart released a statement saying, quote, "I am eager to begin work with our legislator and Governor Doug Ducey on a realistic, sustainable, and predictable plan to fund higher education in the future," end quote. President Hart hopes the state will move towards a funding plan that rewards measurable progress, not just increased enrollment.
I think that what we're seeing is a lot of people who are coming together and seeing that this is not just affecting in-state students, this is affecting out-of-state students, this is affecting graduate students, this is affecting adjunct professors, and all in all, what we're really hoping for is improvements in education and more investment.
The ASUA elections this year made headlines after presidential candidate Manny Felix was disqualified. I talked to the elections board about the appeal process and what they're doing to try and move forward. This year's presidential elections were between two candidates, Manny Felix and Hannah Sager. Although the race was supposed to be finished on Thursday, March 12th, candidates are still awaiting the Senate's approval for official results.
So anybody on campus can file a complaint. They'll go to the ASUA office and put the complaint onto an official complaint form.
A complaint is counted as a strike, and once the candidate receives 3 strikes, the election commissioner decides whether or not to disqualify that candidate.
We received 4 complaints from different students. They all kind of had the same allegations against candidate Manny Felix. We verified those, or I had to verify those. I called them. I asked them whether or not they could attest to everything they wrote about in the complaint, as there was no other evidence other than their testimony. And I decided that, I had to give them the right to that testimony. I can't tell them that they're wrong, and, in a fair and just, world of law, I'm sure that that's the most appropriate course of action. So I was able to verify 3 of them, which resulted in 3 strikes and a disqualification.
So once the candidate was disqualified, he appealed his disqualification, and it came back to us as an elections commission. And we review this appeal by looking through our elections code and reviewing the complaints that were filed and reviewing our commissioner's decision. And for that, what we do is we read every line of the code and we decide whether the complaints that were filed follow the code. And what we found as a commission was that section 5-4 of the code stated that we did not have to, we were able to overturn this decision. So with that decision, we overturned candidate Felix's disqualification.
Hannah Seger then appealed their decision, sending the case to the Supreme Court yesterday. The courts affirmed the decision to invalidate the disqualification. If the Senate approves that, within the next week, Manny Felix will be named the new ASUA president. Reporting from the University of Arizona for Wildcast, I'm Toby Schmidt.
5 graduate programs at the UA have been ranked in the top 10 in the country, and faculty is not surprised. According to the U.S. News and World 2016 report on the best graduate schools for UA's program for Management Information Systems is 3rd out of all universities and 1st out of public universities. The other ranked majors include speech language pathology, rehabilitation counseling, earth sciences, and pharmacy. Many credit this to the school's recent shift to focus on research-oriented programs after its classification as a Research 1 institution. In total, the UA had over 30 other graduate programs within the top 50 of their categories.
Stay with us after the break to learn how one campus organization is helping UA students with limited access to food.
I'm Derek Williams, your former U of A Wildcat. You're watching UA TV. Don't change the channel.
Spring is finally here in Tucson, but no showers to come with it. We'll send it over now to weather reporter Virginia Beamer for an in-depth look at this week's dry forecast. Virginia?
I'm weather reporter Virginia Beamer with a look at your Wildcast weather forecast for today. 93 degrees was the high outside today. Very hot and sunny day outside. If we take a look at the almanac, we actually broke our high temperature record for today. 92 degrees was the record set back in 1950. It took us 65 years to break that record, and hopefully we won't break it again for a long while. Our low temperature this morning was 62 degrees outside, so nowhere near the normal of 48, just very well above averages across Arizona today. No rain. We did see a few clouds outside, but nothing more than that. Tonight, things are going to cool down a little bit more, or maybe right around what we saw last night or early this morning. 62 degrees, clear and calm tonight. If we take a look at tomorrow, things are going to cool down a little bit from what we saw today. 88 degrees is the expected high. Wouldn't be surprised if it went to 89, but we're going to stick it at 88 for the time being. Sunny and warm outside, so not as hot. And if we take a look into our 5-day forecast, Thursday, things are going to cool down to 85 degrees, 84 by Friday. Saturday, 87 degrees outside, and then we should be in the 50s for the most of the week. And then back on Tuesday, we're going to be at 60 degrees outside. That's a look at your Wildcast weather forecast for this week. Back to you guys.
The UA Pantry offers students with limited transportation and resources access to the food they need right here on campus. Wildcast reporter Michael Hernandez visited one of the group's food distribution events and spoke with students about this program.
For many in college, the starving student stereotype is an all too realistic truth. Since their inception in 2012, a little-known food distribution organization called the Campus Pantry has been working to fill this food insufficiency need on the U of A campus.
In the beginning, we probably didn't get a lot of students coming in, not because there wasn't need, but more because they did not know that we were here to help them out. We're really excited how we've grown so far, and we just keep trying to think of new ways that we can grow and really keep helping our U of A community. I've seen it all grow from the beginning, and where we just had like one table in this tiny room, and it's been great. I love, this is my favorite part about my college experience, for sure.
The pantry, located in the El Portal Residence Hall, is open to all students, staff, and faculty with a CAT card. It's an anonymous, no questions asked service, where you're welcome to pick up non-perishable items such as canned goods, oatmeal, rice, granola bars, and occasionally fresh produce. In addition to volunteer opportunities, The Pantry provides an internship program for those looking to get involved in feeding the school community.
I do something similar with my church back home with a program called The Gathering Inn, where we provide dinner for about 55 to 60 homeless people. And so when I heard about the opportunity and that they were looking for interns for this coming semester, I thought it'd be a great way to volunteer and give back to the community in my own way.
The campus pantry serves about 50 to 80 people during a typical distribution day. And that means a steady stream of donations are needed in order to keep the cupboard stocked. Non-perishables like cereal and peanut butter are what are most needed, and the donation process is incredibly simple.
We get a lot of donations from the end of the year residence hall because everyone moves out and they have like a bunch of ramen left over. We have donation bins in most of the halls, and so they can donate that food. We want to respect people's privacy and their need for the pantry. So what we do is we started this lunch table where we can have people prepare food and come in and serve it, and so people can take their food for the week and as well as like take away a hot meal.
Whenever they have it open, I come on days that I can, and because it's a convenient place to, because you're always busy and you can't make time to go to the groceries or stuff like that, so it's a convenient place on campus to come, pick up some groceries real quick, then head home and make up some quick dinner.
Campus Pantry will be having 2 more distribution events this semester on April 10th and May 1st from 2 to 5 p.m. Reporting from El Portal for Wildcast, I'm Michael Hernandez.
While the UA Pantry is helping to feed struggling students, another group on campus is working to save our local furry friends. Cats for Critters' goal is to promote responsible pet ownership and encourage students and faculty alike to give local pets a temporary or forever home. The group has about 25 members and is currently focused on the stray cats that are abundant on campus. The group wants everyone at the UA to know that they are a helpful resource if you find a stray animal on campus or would like to give your support by volunteering or adopting at the Pima Animal Care Center.
CrossFit training is gaining popularity across the country, and specialized gyms are popping up in Tucson. Wildcast reporter Tara Alfano went to one location and found out why people all over the U.S. are taking up the CrossFit Challenge.
Created in 2000 by a former gymnast, it's a combination of gymnastics, Olympic weightlifting, and aerobic conditioning. It's one of the most extreme workouts today, a military-style workout that pushes bodies to the max.
Consists of several things. You could be running one day, you could be rowing one day, you could be doing deadlifts one day, handstand push-ups, handstand walks. We work on rings a lot, we work on the bars a lot, we do pull-ups, we do a lot of core work, we do a lot of barbell movements, Olympic lifting. So it varies every day.
It mentally prepares you for a lot of things. It teaches you to, be tough, dig down, and focus on what's ahead.
The harder you work out, the better you feel when you're finished. It's like your endorphins start pumping, and when you finish and you can't breathe, you're laying on the ground sweating. When you finally get up and you drink your protein or whatever you do, you feel really good.
CrossFit is designed for universal scalability, making it a great application for any committed individual, regardless of experience.
I do it for competitive reasons. I started out doing it just because my brother kind of introduced me to it. And that was fun. And I was good at a couple things.
I think that there are injuries with any type of physical activity. CrossFit, because you do so many different things, you don't have as many repetitive use injuries. But the thing that makes it safest is you have to have good coaches that tell you what you can do and what you can't do and give you the right modifications to go through everything.
You have to have the right kind of coaching and the right people around you and the right workout strategy and plan, because there are a lot of people that do stupid stuff, and so it gets a bad rap sometimes, but as long as you're careful with it and you know what you're doing, I think it's a really smart thing to do. To keep your body as fit as you're going to get.
You feel tired, you feel exhausted, but you also have a sense of accomplishment of you just did that, you went as hard as you can for however long you had to, and you feel good after it's done.
Studies say most people are able to handle CrossFit, but most importantly, check with your doctor first before beginning any new workout. Reporting from CrossFit Now, I'm Tara Alfano.
Wow, that seems intense.
Yeah, those weights were ginormous. I don't know how they do it. After the break, see how students are reacting to the Wildcats tournament elimination.
The knife I lead is enough of a dog. I may have fleas, but I run a yard. I see those clones looking down on me.
This Saturday is Chinese Health Day, held by the University of Arizona's Confucius Institute. The day aims to promote healthy lifestyles while increasing cross-cultural awareness. Activities include introductions to traditional Chinese medicine and Chinese massage, hands-on CPR training, performance of Chinese martial arts, music and dance, and Chinese food tasting. The event will be held on the UA Mall from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Wildcat fans are in shock after the basketball team fell short against Wisconsin in the Elite Eight for the second consecutive year. Wildcast reporter Chris Delgado was on University following the game and spoke with students about the heartbreaking defeat.
March Madness was in full swing on Saturday as the Arizona Wildcats faced the Wisconsin Badgers in a rematch from last year's Elite Eight. Fans knew in order to secure a prime seat, they needed to get down University early. This meant getting there as early as 5 a.m. Although waking up early, Wildcat fans had high hopes for the big game.
What are you guys' expectations on the rematch today? Elite Eight match. W to go home. Yeah, we're definitely not going home.
Fans piled into University Boulevard restaurants to cheer on their beloved Wildcats. This even meant for some standing outside on the sidewalk in order to catch a glimpse of the game. Although the outcome was not what Wildcat fans expected, they still conducted themselves with class, even after a tough defeat. UA students showed that they can win without boasting and lose without blame. Reporting on University Boulevard for Wildcast, I'm Chris Delgado.
Although Wildcat fans are disappointed with the ending to the basketball season, there's still a lot to root for. We'll turn it over now to sports reporter Danielle Fork for more on the last week in UA athletics.
The Arizona baseball team earned their sixth straight win in the Pac-12 after a three-game sweep of Oregon this weekend. They started with back-to-back wins Friday and Saturday and kept that intensity going into Sunday for a 13-4 victory. A team effort led to this win as 9 Wildcats scored a run, 8 collected a base hit, and 7 drove in a run. Arizona is now 22-6 overall and will take on USC at home this Thursday through Saturday. Arizona men's basketball beat Xavier last Thursday to advance to the Elite Eight and play Wisconsin. For the second year in a row, the Wildcats season ended with a tough loss to Wisconsin with a score of 85-78. Brandon Ashley and Rondé Hollis-Jefferson led Arizona with 17 points each. The Arizona softball team defeated Arizona State on Sunday in a Game 3 of the series. They earned the 11-1 victory in just 5 innings because of their strong hitting and clutch pitching. Tatiana Mauga had a home run to increase her homers to 15 this season. Arizona heads to Oregon State next weekend for a 3-game series. Men's swimming and diving completed their final day of the Swimming and Diving NCAA Championships on Saturday. They finished 13th overall. Senior Kevin Cords finished second in the 200 breast, and Rafael Quintero finished in 4th place on the platform. The Arizona Athletic Department is mourning the loss of former head football coach and longtime Tucson resident Jim LaRue, who passed away Sunday night at the age of 89. He was a major part of our athletic department and football program, and his legacy will always be remembered. That's all for sports. Back to you guys.
As always, thanks for tuning into Wildcast. You can watch us anytime online at uatv.arizona.edu or on our YouTube channel, UATVCH3.
And don't forget to like us on Facebook for breaking news on campus. We'll see you next week for another edition of Wildcast. Good night.
Tonight, the